Hello again, and welcome back to the Japan Game Junk podcast. So, today I'm going to tell you a bit about a store where I could visit yesterday. It is actually a place worth visiting, even if not for buying games, and it is the Guru Daiteikoku, which is a Kanteidan-style store in Misato of Saitama Prefecture. Now, there are many of this kind of store, many of this chain of stores. This one actually might be one of the worst for getting games, actually, unfortunately. However, there are plenty of things that are going for it that are worth seeing if you're in the area. So, this was a visit from March 24th of 2024, and some notable things that could be found in this store are, one is with the Famicom games, there are quite a good number, and some of the more expensive games you might find there are about the same as what you find anywhere else, but unfortunately, some of the cheaper games are more expensive than you'd find at other Kanteidan-style stores. However, there are a few things to mitigate this. Some of the mid-range games are at the same price you would usually pay, and luckily they have a special machine there. For 1,000 yen in cash in the vending machine, you have a lottery system where you get either an A, a B, or a C ticket. There's also unfortunately, you lose ticket. The A, B, or C tickets can be redeemed for retro games in a glass case. You can choose from a number of them for each level, and they all have a value of much more than 1,000 yen. I believe in the C ranking, the cheapest game there was 2,000 yen plus tax, so it is a very, very good deal for people who want anything from any of those levels in that case. However, the sorry that you lost ticket is still good for a 1,500 yen coupon, which can be used for any retro games, singularly or multiple, up to 1,500 yen before tax. So, in essence, if you know that you want to get any games there that are retro games or used games, it doesn't have to be retro, it could be Switch or whatever, and you have 1,000 yen, and you know the game that you want is more than 1,000 yen, you instantly save some money. So it's good to play with that machine. It's very nice. And speaking of which, the Switch games there are actually a bit cheaper than usual. There are quite a few there that usually are about 2,000 yen at other used stores, and here they're about 1,000 yen or a bit over 1,000 yen. Quite a number of them are 1,000 yen or 1,280 yen plus tax. Some are a little bit cheaper, but they're the typical, Yu-Gi-Ohs and, those card games or the 3 or 4 year old soccer games or whatever. But quite a few games, including Monkey Ball and some things that might be very fun, are about 1,000 yen. So it's worth seeing that. Now, that being said, the store itself, although it has not so many great games in the way of value and treasures to find, it's also very, very full of crane games, and some of which are fairly easy to get prizes. Now, the big feature for the Guru series of Kanteidan stores is that now they have many, many 10 yen crane games. So, for example, you can get, like little trinkets, little tiny toys, or little plastic things that you might put in your bathtub to float around. And they're fun, and you can enjoy yourself for about 10 yen. Or even the pusher-style machines where you can get little bitty bits of cheese or bits of meat or chocolate snacks or whatever. Also 10 yen a push. And it's a lot of fun. So it's worth going there just to enjoy the look around, even if you don't get anything for games and stuff. It also has a Kanteidan store. It has many used things, just appliances and clothes and shoes and their Apple products section and various other media and stuff. It's a fun place to go. And fortunately, even if it's not your style, if you go to the store and it's a bust, nearby there is a very big shopping center, which includes a very nice arcade, and many, many restaurants. And if you really wanted to walk a bit, then there's also a hard off store nearby as well. So for all these reasons, I would suggest it's worth going to this area if you're in the area to see not only this Guru Kantedan store, but also for everything else that you can enjoy and make many, many hours out of it. That being said, unfortunately, this part of Misato City is not easily accessed by any public transport that I know of. The nearest station is the one that is accessing the IKEA and Costco and big shopping center around the Shin Misato Station area, and it appears there is some bus access. I've never seen any buses there, which means they're probably not very frequent. And so if you happen to be in the area, if you're in Misato City, if you're nearby, it is very near many, many highway exits for a car user, but I don't think I would recommend it for a non-car user, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. A lot of people think you need to have you don't need to have a car in Japan, yet you do unless you want to be stuck in the same part of expensive Tokyo. So, yeah, a little hint for getting a car in Japan, why not? In Japan, if you plan to move here, it does cost a good US $3,000 or so to get a driving license because you're required to go to a driving school. However, if you are not, in Japan at the moment, and you plan to move here eventually, you will want to get a driving license for, even not for driving, just for other benefits you have. It's called a paper driver here. And however, you don't want to pay so much money for a license you may or may not use. So, I will say, please, if you're in another country, get your license if it is not too expensive to get one in your home country. Because if you have a license that's valid and has been valid for at least 6 months before you enter Japan, you don't have to go to the driving school to get the driving license. You only have to pass the normal driving test. And you can save yourself thousands of dollars. So, remember, before coming to Japan, get your license. And then when you're in Japan, if you have your car, you can enjoy the Misato used games at the Guru Kantedan and all the various other stuff nearby area. It's a lot of fun and a laugh and a half. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope that you can enjoy yourself at all of your game-related shopping excursions. I never know how to finish these things, so I think I'll